Hey everybody, G4 Video 5 here, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto 3, the definitive edition. In this part, we will be completing all 20 rampages that you can do across Liberty City, starting with the ones in Portland, and then moving on to Staten Island, and finishing in Shoreside Vale. Lewd. And so, I'm not going to be commentating the entire video. This is more of a walkthrough type of video, but I do want to point out a couple of things before I silence myself. And the first thing I want to point out is this strategy I'm using for this first rampage, as I'm at the point in the game where the Mafia are very difficult to face in combat because they have shotguns and pistols, and they are instantly hostile towards Claude. So something to combat this is, before activating the rampage, I had a wanted level where I had the police chasing after me. And for whatever reason during these rampages, anytime the police are active and around you, the gang members that are also around you won't be hostile. They'll just be walking around like normal, or standing in place, or even running away in some instances. And so even though you can't see them, there are police officers down there trying to chase after me. It's just that I'm on a ledge and they're on ground level. But either way, they're kind of protecting me, because these Mafia gang members are pretty much ineffectual and just make for easy targets with the AK-47. Now, I'm going to go to the other side of this little building area, and you're going to notice that these Mafia gang members are going to chase after me, and the reason is because there's no police that have spawned in yet. But the moment the police spawn, there are going to be some Mafia gang members in the distance that begin running away, as you can see. So fantastic stuff there, great strategy to have in your back pocket. But what these rampages are pretty fun little side activities that are requirements for 100% that require you to complete an objective in 2 minutes using, in most cases, a specific weapon. So in this case, we have to destroy 10 vehicles in 2 minutes using the grenades. And we can't switch weapons or anything like that, so we must use the grenades to accomplish our task. And it's pretty fun stuff. Like, a lot of these rampages are very enjoyable because they're things that you would probably end up doing anyway. Now, something I want to point out with the grenades is you got to be really careful with them, because if you begin spamming the shoot button, which in my case is the B button on the old Xbox One there, you know, sometimes Claude just kind of drops them at his feet, and you can see that right there. And I have 13 health, and it's kind of all my own doing. So you don't want to get too spammy with the grenades, or at least you want to be mindful of situations where the grenades don't really go as far as you're anticipating them to go. And something else you can do is, you're pretty safe up here from the Mafia gang members down below, but you can use the walls of the buildings nearby to bounce the grenades off of. Especially if you notice cars beginning to pile up and not really go anywhere, as you can see there. So anyway, one more thing I want to point out is that in the bottom right-hand corner at the beginning of each of these rampage attempts, and right there is where that pile up is, where the cars aren't really going anywhere, they're just kind of stuck in place at that intersection. So yeah, you see how effective that was, throwing a grenade against the wall. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the second map that appears. And the reason why is because the first map that you see on the big screen is where the rampage is located the first time you try doing them. In the bottom right-hand corner, that's where the rampage is located the second time you attempt doing these rampages. Because for some reason they made it to where if you fail the rampage the first time, for whatever reason, the rampage actually spawns in a completely different area. So it's kind of annoying, and something I do to combat this nuisance is I usually just save my game before each rampage attempt. So if I fail, I can just reload my save and go back to the location that's on the big screen. But if for whatever reason you don't do that, then the location in the bottom right-hand corner at the start of each of these rampages is where you can find the second location. And if you happen to fail again at that second location, then the rampage will spawn back at the first location, and it'll just keep flip-flopping until you eventually pass the rampage. So good stuff there. Something with the M16 that's pretty important is, normally I wouldn't recommend to aim in with the M16 because there's such an insane amount of recoil with it, but I think it is a very useful tactic in situations like this where we have close combat enemies chasing after us, because the Diablos just have fists and baseball bats, and you wouldn't want those things shoved up your ass. I mean, some people might, but yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of that, so something like aiming in with the M16 is very effective in taking them on, because if we just free aim, Claude is going to take half a second to lift his M16 and begin shooting. But if we aim in with the M16 first, Claude instantly has his M16 raised and ready to go. So that little half a second makes all the difference when we have these enemies that are so close to us, especially enemies with baseball bats. Normally I downplay baseball bats, but you know, when you have a cluster of enemies with them, they can really do some damage to you, so that's something to be very mindful of. But with that being said, I do want to point out the rewards for these rampages. You get a cash reward of an escalating $5,000. So for the first rampage you complete, you get $5,000. For the second rampage, you get $10,000. Third rampage, $15,000, and so on, all the way up to $100,000. And then you get a cash bonus of $1 million for completing all 20 rampages. So that's a lot of money there that we really have nothing to do with. So I don't know, there's always prostitutes, I suppose. But anyway, I'd say that just about wraps up my commentary. So, in the next part, we will be tackling the unique stunt jumps. So until then, I will see you next time.
Here you come now.
What love right there? Yeah, you man, big trouble. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Here you come now. Hey, boy. Right there, man.
You don't have to step out. Why not?
That boy now. One love right there. Here you go.
All boy, man.
Planted.
Big up the Liberty boy.
That was big planted. Just like old time. Big up to the Liberty boy.
Star. In the name.
Yeah, you man, big trouble. That boy now. Man, big trouble. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Boy now. Here you come now. Good love right here you come now. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Good love right there. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Yeah, that boy now. Yeah, here you come now. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Just like old time. The hot stepper. You nuts? Here you come now. Yeah, you man, big trouble. That's that boy now. Yeah, you man, big trouble. The hot stepper. The hot stepper. The hot stepper. Yeah, you man, big trouble. Here you come now.
The hot stepper.
Yo, watch the booty.
Your ass! Damn!
I'm gonna bust your ass!
Get off of the road!